Right, might start. I mean, it might have been used, but just a couple of boys came off on the weekend. Scott Williams, Dan Evans, and Nicky Smith. Is there any updates on them so far?
Well, obviously Scott came off with a hamstring injury. That's still getting assessed at the moment and scanned, and the true extent of the layoff for that is still to be determined. So obviously disappointing. He's not going to be available this week, but we will know a little bit more about that, in the coming days.
And Nicky and Dan came off with HIAs. Did they go through the processes?
Yeah, they're going through the process. Nicky's was a pretty heavy, no arms clean out to the head, close to our try line, which looked pretty serious from our sort of perspective. But he's going through the protocols, and hopefully we'll see them back relatively soon. But apart from Scott, which is the muscle tear, the HIAs the guys should recover pretty quickly from that.
From your perspective, defence, how's it gone first 2 games?
Really good. We obviously looked at the way we defended last season, and there were some pretty clear-cut areas for not only that we could see, but I'm sure a lot of our supporters could see that there was improvements that needed to be made, and I think we've applied that. I think Sean coming in, us having both have similar backgrounds in terms of our rugby league background. We see the game the same way, and I think as a coaching group, we've, especially with Matty Sherritt, Sean and myself, we've really dovetailed really nicely together. So it's at very early days. Obviously, we've had 2 home games, which makes your start to the season a little bit easier. But we're obviously pleased to be 2 from 2.
How is the Sean dynamic working? Obviously, you've got him a day a week. How's that working for you?
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
Really brilliant. He's a world-class defence coach. So, I've been coaching at Premiership level and the Pro-14 level for the last 12 seasons. So I have a certain amount of experience. But when you're able to tap into, an international, the British and Irish line defence coach, his mind, and watch him go to work, even if it is only for that 1 day a week, you're always picking up things and learning. So, like I said, we dovetailed really well together as coaches, and we chat on the phone, 2 or 3 times a week about the game. So I've really thoroughly enjoyed it.
Munster this week, different sort of test, 2 home games so far.
Yeah, it's away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huge test. I think we're playing in Cork, aren't we?
Yeah.
So, whenever you get Munster, whether it is at home or away, they are just a class opposition, and we're gonna have our work cut out for us. But I think we can take a lot of confidence about what we've done in the opening 2 games of this competition to go there with some confidence and really try and lay down a marker.
Final one for me, but there was paper talk in the summer about you linking up with England and Eddie Jones. Was there ever anything in that, and was that ever a possibility? Yeah,
there was a possibility. Do you know what I mean? I think it was shortlisted for the role, and I got spoken to about it briefly, and as it panned out, it's I'm committed to the Ospreys for the contract. So at some stage in every coach's career, you would want to test yourself at international at level, and I'm no different.
Were you honoured that you were sort of shortlisted for that sort of international job?
I think they just shortlist some names that the press grab hold of and stuff like that. So, but it didn't get any really further than just some initial discussions about being interested in working in the international arena.
With Eddie, those discussions? Were those discussions with Eddie, with yourself?
No.
Right, with Sean coming in, can you just explain how exactly that works when he comes in? Do you guys wake up in the morning and discuss how you're going to go about things, and how does it work during sessions?
Yeah, we generally we speak before the session takes part, maybe the night before, and then of the morning we have a look at the detailed plan of the day, and we chat through what we want to sort of achieve, and I take certain parts of the training session, and Sean will lead in other aspects, and then we sort of support each other, and vice versa. So it's a pretty relaxed sort of arrangement. A lot of it is areas of the game that we feel we could improve on. it's worked really seamlessly so far, and I expect that to continue.
Some new faces it seems in the back line. How have they taken to the structures that you guys put in place here defensively? There hasn't been really a change of principle or a change of philosophy defensively. It's been, I think, a little bit more intent about what we do, doing things a bit faster. I think if there was one criticism from us last year is that we didn't have enough speed off the line, and if you look at the way Sean has set up defences in the past, there's been a lot of line speed, and what we've tried to do is probably meet right in the middle there, and we're on the same page with a lot of things. So in terms of our defensive structure, that's not changed whatsoever. In terms of our principles of defence, that's not changed whatsoever. We're just doing things a lot faster, and Sean definitely brings that intensity to the work he does. And our groundwork has improved this year, and I think that's another element of our defence that Sean is really good at focusing on. I do a lot more on our tackle technique and work above the ground, but it's us being a team that can be just not good at one thing. It's about us as a defensive unit being a really difficult team to break down in all areas of the game.
Right. So you're at Nicky Smith on the weekend, which was obviously it's a big thing at the moment, the jackal area, no shoulders. What was your sort of take on that, and how dangerous do you think it was?
I thought it was extremely dangerous. I thought it was a shoulder to the head, in my opinion. I think the jackalers need to be protected just as much as what we would say a fly half needs to be protected as a ball player for no arms tackling and being hit late. You have to understand, especially off line breaks and quick taps, these cleaners and their big boys are coming out at a speed against a stationary jackler. You can have some really serious knocks there, and I thought I was disappointed at the time that nothing was done and it wasn't looked at a little bit more closely. I don't know if it's been looked at now, but that's just my opinion as a coach. I think jackalers, when they are in a strong position, need to be protected a lot more than what they are doing.
How do you think that can be done, Brad? Is it obviously increase penalising with that much if you don't go in with the your arms? Is there anything else?
I think you have to go in with your arms. I think there's a lot of mail at the moment about Pocock and the neck roll, which obviously it was very prevalent a few years ago. The referees are cracking down on it now. I still think they need to crack down a little bit more, but I just think the leading with the shoulder on a clean, I think, has to just be eradicated out of the sport. I think it's extremely dangerous. The guy's in a vulnerable position, and it's something that we sin bin, and guys get penalised for pulling guys down from line-outs when they're in the air or the aerial battle. And I think now we do really have to focus on this breakdown, because that is the biggest part where the collisions. A stationary guy is at his most vulnerable over the ball.
Do you have figures in terms of the injuries, where your injuries are coming from? Is that a...
No, we haven't looked into that. But just from the naked eye, and we all watch the game and care about the game. I think when you see someone getting cleaned out, you can see how brutal it can be, and I think we have to really, as long as it's legal. I think that's all fair, but I think as soon as someone even comes close to the head area with a shoulder, I think we need to start protecting the guys. If the jackler's first over the ball, well, I think he's got the rights. And at the moment, sometimes it doesn't feel like it gets slanted that way, in my opinion.
Brad, as a coach, you must be delighted with the way George has started.
Brilliant, yeah, world class. I think there's 2 tries in his opening game. I think maybe we don't score them last year. But if you put a world class player in one-on-one situations, 10 metres out, 60 metres out with a bit of space, they can generally do something good out of it. And George is no different. And I think that it's just not George though. It's Allard, it's Scott, those guys who are very very good players. You can't underestimate the importance that has on the confidence of the rest of especially the backs and the young backs that we have at the club. That gives them a real steel, a real determination, and a real confidence about the guys they play with. So, they've been outstanding.
From a defence point of view, you must have been more pleased by the time when Kinghorn was through and that came forward and George got back and flicked past to clear the situation.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, and you know, being able to obviously convert your line breaks into scores is important, and when you've got some real speed on the wings, you can do that. In terms of when you concede a line break, the ability to get back, you need that speed on the wings to do that, and I feel we're starting to get that. We still obviously would like to improve our depth in the squad in certain areas, and that's something that's an ongoing process, but to have those guys out on the track is very important for us.
Talking about depth in the squad, do we see that depth this weekend?
You'll probably see a little bit of that depth this weekend, yeah. You know, obviously we don't have the deepest squad in the competition, so we have to look at rotating things around and keeping guys fresh. Winning your home games is paramount to that, so there will be a few changes made.
Is George in contention? Sorry, is George in contention to play?
Yeah, he's in contention. Yeah.